So what is up, guys? It's that time where we go over all the cards that came out in set 16 so you guys can prep for the future and come up with your deck ideas now. So without further ado, let's get this started reviewing set 16 cards that we didn't get to see and cards we've already seen. So Silverthorn Beast Tamer Emil, put this unit into your soul. Look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck and put one grade 1, 2, grade 1 through 3 cards each into your soul. So you put a you put a grade 1, you put a grade 2, and you put a grade 3 in the soul. So that's a 3 soul charge. But they have to be Silverthorn cards. This card's only exclusive to Silverthorns. I don't know if we're really going to change it from what we have as the booster, as what we have now, because I think that booster doesn't really change. Because again, you can soul charge almost constantly. Versus, I guess with this, you're soul charging 1, 2, 3, then you're done soul charging. But then where it comes to deck thinning. So I mean, I kind of would test Emil out a little bit, but I think I'm still going to stick to like the first 4-liner that we're using with Reverse Liquor now in set 13. Silverthorn Assistant Zelma, when placed, if your Vanguard is a Silverthorn, put one of your other Silverthorn rear guards into your soul to call Silverthorn. This is what's going to boost our Chimera that gets 3,000 power every time you call Silverthorn. So this with a combo of Zelma sets up not only for an extra attack, but a guaranteed calm that can overshadow a defensive trigger, which is really good. Zelma actually really pushes Silverthorns to the next level, especially with their power creep moments and their extra attacking. And with Zelma being able to switch out some G3s, put a G3 into the soul, get something out. Obviously, this can also help with your cross-ride numbers. Say you drew your heal, or let's just, I think Liquor's our heal, and we play it, we just throw it in the soul. Now you have cross-ride numbers, and you have an intercept to replace it. So that's why I kind of like Zelma. We're going to be boosting our soul with mostly Silverthorn. So again, this effect can be more consistent and be used efficient. Tightrope Tumbler. When placed from the soul charge 2. Bristle Bunny. When your other rear guard is placed from your soul, you may call this card. If you call this card, you got to put it back into the soul. Without a use of a CB, I mean, this card comes out as a booster. If some card does come out, and I guess if this is soul charge, but again, most of the soul charging, G0 we are running are mostly based for Silverthorn, so using this is definitely out of the question. Egg Juggler, when placed from your soul blast 1 to draw 1 card. It's nice to see a double rare like this, but very not that useful, I guess. I mean, maybe in a Liquor deck without the Thorn cards, it can have some, utility of, getting some plussing. But Egg Juggler is definitely up in the air. It could be a possible good unit for like aggressive triggers if you play her correctly and call her out correctly. I could definitely see use with this with that 6K way back in the sets Liquor set from like set 7 or whatever set Liquor came out in. That tags in and tags out, so you can tag in Egg Juggler, Soul Blast 1, and draw a card. So you can CB1, pretty much CB1 to draw 1 every time you call this out. A little strong play you can do with Egg Juggler if you wanted to go an Egg Juggler route. Misdirection. This goes with your Bunny, actually, because she has the same effect. If a card's called from your soul, you can call her out for free, but she has to go back into the soul at the end of the turn. You don't really get to keep an intercept. I guess 5th damage it would work, but again, Silverthorns is Silverthorns, and this isn't really good, cut base at the end of the day. So Silverthorn Dragon Empress Venus Liquor. You CB2, look at the 2 cards from the top of your deck, put up to 2 Silverthorn cards into your soul, then call any number of Silverthorns with the sum of their grades being 6 or less from your soul. So you can call some grade 1s. Most max, you're possibly going to be calling 5. I can be honest, Rencia, maybe a Dragon, 1 Mai, or Zelma, so on and so forth. But if you do call the Cerberus will get power creeped a lot. Because with Zelma, that thing's going to be at 21,000, I think, by the time you do a Zelma play with that. Because you call 1, then it gets 15, and then you call out, bada bing, bada boom. It'll be like 18, I guess. Depending, yeah, it's going to be like 18. I guess then Marencia plays, then becomes 21. So Silverthorn Venus Liquor is definitely dupe. I do like it. There is no lock to it. And you just keep getting that soul charge, and you're going to be able to soul charge 2 cards. If they're Silverthorns, so obviously your heals possibly won't be Silverthorns. That way you don't soul charge your heals on accident. So you'll be able to make this card work very efficient when playing Pale Moon in the very future in Global. Nightmare Doll Carol. It's a limit break 4. Counter +1 and put 2 rear guards into your soul to call 2 cards from your soul. My issue with this is it's not a battle phase effect, so it's hot guard, but actually it's not too guard to the extent that it can really work for a person who wants to play a budget Pale Moon. You have you brick terribly with a grade 3 hand, put those craps in the soul, and call out some intercepts. Carol's not bad. I just wish he got more of like juice from the calls, like a liquor. But it's not bad for a little tiny budget option when it comes to Carol doing some plays. Just depends. All right, we're done talking about Pale Moon. Pale Moon definitely gets stronger by set 16. They're strong right now with Morencia, but once Zelma enters the game, they're going to be really, really stupid. That's including Venus Liquor as well. Venus Liquor hitting those nice numbers here and there. You're going to be able to pull off a lot. And obviously with the break ride, again, lots of plussing, this, that, all that, do. Or you don't even need a break ride. You sit on a cross ride base, you call units, so on and so forth. Very good at the end of the day. So now we're on to Dimensional Robos, and believe it or not, this set only possibly just had like 5 from the looks of it. So we have Kaiser Greater. If your Vanguard is Kaiser, the G2, put this unit in your soul and ride Die Kaiser from your deck. That's good. I mean, we're taking a trigger out, so we put all of our triggers back in. Say we like shuffle all of our triggers back. We draw a Kaiser, so at least all the triggers are back in the deck, and you just have to draw one more G3 to break ride with. You're good to go. But then again, it comes down to having, I would actually try to have I would return all my cards till I have a Shadow Kaiser, a little bit of a self-damager prepped. That way, when I use Kaiser Greater, I can ride into pretty much Superior Ride into Die Kaiser for the game. So I am liking Kaiser Greater where he's at. Definitely can add some of that oomph. Die Baron. Put this unit into your soul, and your Vanguard gets 4,000 power. And if your card is a Dimensional Robo, counter +1. Oh, if it's in the soul. Wait, put this unit into your soul. Oh, and that unit gets 4,000 power. And then you could do an effect if your Vanguard is a Dimensional Robo. You see one, put this card into your drop zone, and then your Vanguard gets the following ability. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you can retire. So if you don't hit the Vanguard somehow, you over-critted. Oh no, now you don't get to retire. But this could be useful for the cross-ride game. Having a strong cross-ride unit really does add some oomph. That's where actually Laurel could come in as well. I mean, restand with this gives you 2 retires in the back row, so you can turn them into like a little bitty reverse dauntless with those cross ride numbers. And if you hit triggers, he'll be at 1,800, and hopefully your Laurel restands your Vanguard, so you can retire another G1 in the back, or G0, or anything, because it says retire anything. So that's good. Ultimate Dimensional Robo, Greto, Die, Kai. I'm not on the screen because people are sleeping here. All right. So with Ultimate Dimensional Kaiser, let's go over the effect. Again, when this unit attacks, CB2, draw a card, and get a plus drive check. So when this unit attacks, if it's 15,000 or greater, before the attack phase, you get a countercharge 1, so that CB2 you did becomes a CB1. Now, the trick to playing Great Die Kaiser is using the Game Studio terrible deck shuffler against your opponent. That's why Shadow Kaiser is very important for the break ride. I say this because every time you put a trigger back in the deck, more or less it's going to be getting triggered very instantly, or it's coming very soon after it's been shuffled. Studios has that issue, especially with Ganslot. Once Ganslot gets shuffled, it's possibly going to be the second card. Lo and behold, counter +2, you draw the first card. Guess what? It's the trigger you just shuffled back in, being your first drive check. And with the triple drive check, you are increasing your odds. And with Laurel's effect and Die Kaiser's new upgrade, this effect can be more efficient with crits. So once you break right into Die Kaiser, this will be at 2, going to 3. With a triple drive check, it is possible to knock out those 2 PGs instantly. But hypothetically speaking, if you draw another Die Kaiser, and you have another Shadow Kaiser, just do the effect again somehow and just do it all over again. Just make another big-ass break right turn. It's like, all right, so all I need is a trigger and I win. Something like that. But that's like 1 in a million that you would ever do that. But it just depends. But I love Ultimate Great Die Kaiser. I love his new effect. And now with Die Kaiser's getting a new buff effect, that's going to make him use with Laurel. So Laurel's going to help with that drive checking. You're going to have a lot to work with. Love it. And here's Shadow Kaiser. When this unit attacks, 5,000 power. This guy will never be Vanguard. Anyways, if your Vanguard is Die Kaiser, put this unit into your soul. Ride Ultimate Robo Great Dimensional Robo Die Kaiser. And then return a grade 3 from your drop zone to your deck. So this is what I was talking about. Once we shuffle a grade 3 legit back into the deck, more or less 80% of the time it will be getting triggered after it legit just went back into the deck. Like how we start our games off. We draw our cards. Oh, it's a heal. Put the heal back. The heal came back anyways. So again, that goes to show how terrible the RNG system is and how consistent the Die Kaiser break ride will be. Now with Shadow Kaiser being able to put a trigger back in the deck, killing the RNG that you had, and now there's a possible trigger coming because it wants to be triggered instantly. from the looks of it. Diehard's also another good unit. Not bad for an actual good backup if it comes down to it. You put a Dimensional Robo into your soul to ride a grade 3 from your deck, and that unit gets plus 5,000 power. So again, this helps you also. If you need to, you can ride into your... If you don't hit the break ride, Diehard can actually do this effect with a self-damager. You can call a grade 3, aka you can get your ultimate Dimensional Robo Die Kaiser, and you get a return a trigger back into the deck. So again, like I said, it's making the effect kind of efficient. So say you return to heal back into the deck, and you rode ultimate Dimensional Robo Die Kaiser, guess what? You might be healing that turn because you're doing a triple drive check, or that can lead into a sextuple drive check if you do the Laurel play and you have the CB for it. So on and so forth. So a little ups there's up there and up there. All is good with Dimensional Police and what they have going on with them. Their new set 16 really pushes them to the maximum power until we see some legions with some Metal Borgs with Sid and Buster. But we'll see how that goes. Alrighty. So we're done with DP. Like I said, just 5 cards. Maybe 6. I think it was just 5. Did I read that? Yeah, it was just 5. Alright. So with duos, believe it or not, this set is overtaken by duos. This is all pretty much a big Bermuda Triangle gotcha with a couple robos and lots of waifus. So there's that. So anyways, let's hit this star. So we get a new Forerunner, Duo, Lover, Singer's Darling. You put this unit into your soul, return one of your duo rear guards and a rear guard with the same name as that unit to your hand. Okay. So I guess trying to one duo rear guard and a rear guard with the same name as that unit to your hand has a okay. Prism Duo Titsa. 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 Your tits are out. Your tits are out. Anyways, Prism Duo Titsa. When this unit attacks, this unit boost hits, keep in mind there's also a prism, so again, you can use it in a prism deck. When you attack, this unit boost hits, you may return to your hand. So again, another way to return your units. Actually, this can help your Labrador play too, because you can return the booster to your hand in case you didn't hit your break ride vert play. So now we have something to look forward to for more prism cards, because prism duos is a thing. Duo Treasure Hunter Suwani. This unit into your soul to have one of your guards get 3,000 power. Duo Petit Etoli Pissit. Etoli Peace. Etoli Peace. Okay. When this unit is returned to your hand, if your Vanguard is a duo, counterblast 1 to draw a card. And if you have 3 of this card, if your hand has 3 or more of this G1, you countercharge 1. So obviously with duos, they want you to have lots of copies in your hand to get certain effects off, but the odds of getting this countercharge are very, like up in the air. But I guess it can work. You get a draw card from this, and not only that, you get a countercharge one if you're holding on. So holding on to 3 of these and being able to, if your Vanguard's duo, and if you return this effect, I guess with one of the duo Forerunners, you'll be able to do the effect nicely. So I'm guessing, I'm starting to see that the duo Forerunner Love Sing Darling, I guess comboed with this, you're gonna draw 2 cards, and if there's 2 of these already in your hand and you're placing 2 on the field, this will help you draw 2 cards and then countercharge 2. Or you can do it with just 1 CB, because you're going to draw 1 from the return, then you're going to countercharge, and then you're going to draw 1 from the countercharge, depending if the 2 are in your hand, because all you need is 3. So this counts as 1 of your 3, and the other 2 are in your hand if you had 4 in your hand. So duos is going to be very, very interesting. Is it a prism? No, it's not. That's actually a duo. Prism Duo Aria. This is going to be the Forerunner, the PG you're going to want for your new prisms and duos. And now you have a prism PG that you can use in your old prism decks finally. Woohoo! But it can be used in duos as well. So that's your new PG, 5th damage. Duo Afternoon Tea Piranha? During your turn, if your Vanguard's a duo, so it's a 10k beat stick. Duo Dream Idol Main. During your turn, if your Vanguard's a Pacifica. So weird. I did not know Pacifica actually was getting more support, but alrighty, I can work with that. So Duo Dream Idol Main is used for Pacifica instead of Duo, so okay. So Duo Clear Parasol Kura when play Soul Blast 2, counter charge 2. So they get a Soul Blast unit just like Battle Sisters. You'll be able to counter charge 2. So I'm guessing again when it comes to this and you draw one card, and if you want to soul blast one after doing that return, again, you can get counter charge right back up. Duo Pretty Horn Urel. When played, Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. So they have a Soul Blast 2 draw card. So I guess, depending how you want to make your duo decks, I guess you focus on draw build or this, that. And duos can be made in a lot of ways with some of these G1s. You just have to play it correctly. Duo Shiny Tone Kikola. When this unit is returned to your hand, CB1, have one of your units get 4,000 power. And if you have 3 of this in your hand, countercharge 1. The deck is legit wanting you to have 3 of each in your hand, but at least 2 in your hand while the third one's getting played, so you can actually go use it. So I can understand that. Duo Happy Diary Cheryl. When this unit is returned to your hand, counterblast 1 to soul charge 1 and draw a card. So we got a Rio for duos. Alrighty. Whatever floats your boat there, BT. Duo Beast Ear Lulu. When placed, if your Vanguard is a duo, all including itself of your duo Lulu gets plus 2,000 power to the end of the turn. When placed, if your Vanguard is duo, all including itself of your Lulus get 2,000 power, whatever. We don't use that. Prism Duo Yarmouk. When your other rear guards return to your hand, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. You can definitely even use this with an internal idol build. I mean, a 9,000 back row. Now with Pacifica actually having, like, I think getting a 12k unit, I think in this set as well, you'll be able to have a 21 column in the end when you do that return effect. But yeah, if you didn't boost and that card's in the back. Alright, so that's it for the G1s. On to the G2s. Do a Mini Heart Roan. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, it's a rear guard effect, so you can't ride her as Vanguard. Counterblast 1 to return one of your other duo rear guards to your hand and add a card with the same name as that unit from your deck to your hand. Obviously, this is how you recruit your PGs. Also, this is how you recruit 3 of these. Believe it or not, this is how you recruit even 3 of Peace. There's always ways to get 3 of each card now, because this card is definitely 4 of. When pulling certain units, you're going to need 4 of these, period. So I would start getting your crafting materials ready, start getting all the materials for this card in general for a lot of the PG searching and all that good stuff. So yeah, Roan just really makes duos the big oof. When this unit is returned to your hand, if your Vanguard is a duo, counterblast 1 to draw a card, and if you have 3 of this in your hand, you countercharge 1. So the whole point is 3 cards, you CV1, up, you countercharge since you had 3 in your hand. Even though you're going to be, playing lots of cards on your field, I'm pretty sure you can't overdraw in this deck. I don't want to assume you can. I hope not. Duo Dream Idol Sane during your turn if your Vanguard's Pacifica. Up there it is, Pacifica. It's a 12k beat stick. Duo Kelpie Jockey Sierra Dara during your turn if your Vanguard is a duo. 12k. So 2 12ks are coming in BT. Prism Duo Slani. When placed, counterblast 1 to return one of your rearguards to your hand, which activates that rearguard's effect to draw you 1 card. And if you have 3 of that card, yada yada, you countercharge 1. Duo Magical Mike Shalwane. When this unit attack hits, CB2 to draw a card. Seems simple enough. This is actually the first, I think, double rare. This is the first non-double rare that says draw a card, CB2 draw 1. Because BT has so much draw power, it's like, this is just a rare to them at the end of the day, and I understand why it's a rare. Duo Toy Box Maname. When placed, if your Vanguard is a duo, and you have nothing but toy boxes, each toy box gets 2,000 power, so they become 10Ks. Prism Duo Avon. 1 turn effect. When your other rear guard is returned to your hand, this unit gets plus 3,000 power, so she becomes an 11k column. But I think you need a 10k booster in the back, and I don't think we get really a good 10k booster in the back due to a lot of reasons. But I don't think we're really running that either. Duo White Crystal Rika. When this unit is returned to your hand, soul charge 1 and counter charge 1. So they have an interesting counter charger. You return this to your hand, and then you get a counter charge 1. But a lot of the effects are all CB, so this is just weird enough as it is. I don't see use for that either. All right, on to the grade 3 stuff, the favorite parts. Let's go. So Duo Temptation Rate. When this unit attacks, gets the following ability. At the end of the battle, counterblast 2 and discard 2 duo cards with the same name to stay on this unit and draw 2 cards. Then this unit gets plus 5,000 power, so it gives itself its own little trigger buff. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can Soul Blast 1 to return a duo rear guard to your hand. So this helps you have the 2 cards in your hand. That includes the boosters in your hand somehow. If you return the booster, you're able to pitch the 2 cards. So Believe it or not, if you're playing duos, you have to use your big brain here because this effect is the legit restanding Vanguard you know and love, and you're going to need it always. And any restanding Vanguard is a godly Vanguard. So with this being said, and how it tries to help you out, if you have a copy of one card in your hand, you can pitch it and do the attack. GG's all around. Break Ride. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1 to return any of your rear guards to your hand, then you call up to 2 cards from your hand. So obviously this is trying to set you up for 4 attacks in general. The way this works is with the Duo Temptation Break Ride. The Duo Temptation Break Ride is really good. It's great. I mean, you have a restander, so again, with that being said, you'll be able to turn your rear guards, and those rear guards are going to be able to attack. That's going to be a max, like 4 attacks on the Vanguard at the end of the day. Your first attack is going to be the Vanguard, then the second attack will be a rear guard, third attack will be a rear guard, and then the fourth attack will be the Vanguard again from the restand. So the Break Ride is very, very powerful that you want to just keep your eye on it. And just make sure you don't have to waste your boosters, and your boosters can hit, so on and so forth. It depends. 5th damage, this Break Ride's amazing. 4th damage would be dependent on how if he hits a trigger or not, because that means you have to hit triggers just to hit over the defense. Like I said, if you draw too much of your G1s, and your G1s are nice, obviously you're pitching the G1s in general so you can do your effects. Another thing is, since this says return 2 units, again, you can return the units that say come to your hand. And then if you did, counterblast 1, draw a card, but keep in mind, you got to make sure you can pull off this counterblast 2 play. But that's where that G2 does come in. I don't know if people are going to be using Thymes, but with Thymes effect, I mean, when she comes back, you counterblast 1 to draw a card, but if you had a copy, if you have 3 of her in your hand, you get a counter charge, so you don't lose the effect of CB2 to do the restand effect. So that is a good amount of CB that you have to keep track of. CB management, all that to make awesome combos so you make big brain plays. And that's what we're here to teach you here. We're here to make you learn big brain plays. Duo Stage Storm Iori. It's a Persona Blast unit. You still blast 1, Persona Blast, to return 2 duo rear guards to your hand and add 2 cards with the same name as that unit from your deck to your hand. So again, this could be a PG faller where you return a PG to your hand and then you add 2 PGs to your hand and so on and so forth. And then when this unit attacks a Vanguard, discard 2 duos again, which comes with the Persona Blast. Pretty much just saying, oh, you want to do a crit, do this Persona Blast, do this, do that, minus more cards. This card's just really minusing your hand a lot for no reason, but okay. But minusing 2 is definitely a huge red flag. In my opinion, that's too much of that crap. They have to try to avoid, but not bad to make another version of duos if you want to make a deck focused on Duo Stage Storm, where you have a nice hand and you keep pulling off some god plays. That's just my go-to with it, but I hate that it is a Persona Blast just to do the limit break effect. But the other thing about this card is I'm noticing this effect to get the crit isn't bound by a limit break. So the crit effect is neutral, so that's good. Just the limit break 4 effect for the Persona Blast is yeah. So again, you gotta depend on your draws. Do this, do that. Maybe you're drawing with those G1s. Then you draw a couple copies of her. You counter charge, and then you can go for this effect to discard 2 of those G1s. Do big plays, so on and so forth. Since this crit effect isn't a CB effect, you can do a lot. So you don't really have to worry about the crit. You just worry about your CBs, returning the duos that make copies, or you're drawing cards. And if you have 3, you counter charge, so on and so forth. Most of the return of duos are going to be you drawing a card from a CB1, and then you're going to be pitching 2 of the same name just to get a crit. So it's going to depend on the situation for Iori, but definitely not a bad duo unit in general. I like it. It's a different build to tackle in the near future. Duo Delicious Girl. Whoever said Delicious Girl, I want to call your staff on that one. Just throwing that out there. Anyways. At the start of your main phase, counterblast 1 to return 1 of your duo rear guards to your hand and return a rear guard with the same name as that unit to your hand. So again, the G1, or they're both in the back row. You have 2 of the same G1s in the back row. You return both those G1s in the back row. Then you draw 1 card, then you draw another card. You have 3 in your hand. Guess what? You counter charge 1. So you spent pretty much a CB2, but you counter charge to make it CB1. Little budget options they have for you for the duos. When this unit attacks Vanguard, counterblast 2, return 1 of your duo rear guards to your hand and call a card with the same name as that unit from your deck. So that's good about this one. Duo Flower Girl has the Julia effect. The only thing with difference between this and Julia, this actually is an 11k beat stick. This actually is an 11k versus 10k, and 11ks are always nice. But this also kind of helps you set up a multi-attack. You just need to have the pieces in the deck to deck thin, to do a lot of work, do a lot of damage. So obviously a Lily duo deck is possible with stand triggers because that gets you extra attacking. If you attack correctly, you'll be able to do extra attacks. So on and so forth. Color card save name. Yep, that's just a nice little Julia effect. Gotta love it. Duo Sweet Rhythm Villain. When this unit attacks Vanguard, 5,000. Also, when it's the Vanguard, when plays, counterblast 2, draw a card, and return one of your rear guards to your hand. Activating said rear guard's effect, so on and so forth. Duo Lady Cantonoir Salinas. When this unit attacks, discard a card from your hand, and 5,000 power. We are done talking about duos. Holy crap, they had a lot of cards. But the more I see it, the more I'm getting intrigued by the amount of having the same copies in your hand in order to countercharge from your draws, in order to do restand plays, in order to make multi-attack column plays like a reality. It is tricky, but if you pull it off, it's the biggest big brain deck you can be playing in Zero's format. That much I can tell you. With all that draw power, I can't see you not getting all your PGs in time. For real though. On to the next. So, as we all remember, we all saw Blue Storm Dragon, so we're all hyped for the Blue Storm Dragon. So let's go over all the cards that are coming in set 16 so you can get hyped and your mats can be prepped. With Blue Storm Cadets, when they attack this unit boost hits a Vanguard. If it's the third battle of that turn or more, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a Maelstrom to your hand, then add the same card as that card from outside your deck to your deck. So again, you're adding a floaty G3 back into the deck so you didn't lose a card. So technically you are getting an extra unit to fight with. You're not going to have a unit to attack with. You'll always have units to attack with, which makes this card good because we're putting the trigger back in the deck anyways. We're just having a unit for ourselves to use for Diamante plays, for this play, that play, all that stuff. That's what makes them good. Say you wanted to grab Glory, you grab Glory. A floaty Glory heal goes back in the deck. It's really good. Mario makes the dream work. Blue Storm Marine General Hermes during your turn. Your Vanguard's a Blue Storm. 10k. A lot of the good Aquaforce cards, that would be the situation if I can be honest. Swim Patrol Jellyfish Soldier. When play, Soul Blast 2 to countercharge 2. So here's a countercharger 2. This is going to be definitely used even in a Blue Storm deck because say you only have that one CB. Guess what? Play this. Now you got your CB back. Easy enough. You can still run Penguin. Because again, if we're talking Break Ride and Eric's going in the Soul, or we're not running Eric anymore, so on and so forth. It just depends how you do your counter, your Soul Blasting, but not a bad unit for all those Diamantes, Basils, and you're wasting all that CB to really draw out some cards here and there. So it's really good. Definitely situational, but could almost help you in the long run. Blue Storm Battle Princess Crysta Elizabeth. When they attack this unit boost hits a Vanguard, count +1 to call Blue Storm from your hand. Okay. So a possible extra attack from this unit. I kind of like that. It's an extra attack that you can set up. So I would say even endgame. Think of it like not really an endgame because it has to hit. It's interesting because it said multi-attacks just in case if you don't want to waste your unit, but you can CB to call that unit if it can actually hit the number. Say there was like a trigger, you hit it and you didn't want to waste your G2s or anything to really call something. You possibly just avoid that. But yeah, I mean, Blue Storm Battle Princess is nice and all, maybe on paper, but definitely a little bit testing around it and then we can make it work real good. Blue Storm Soldier Tempest Blader. When placed one of your other Blue Storms, get 3,000 power. Blue Storm Marine General Gregorius during your turn if your Vanguard's a Blue Storm. So a lot of Blue Storm cards that are going to be like 12Ks, but again, I guess we're not doing Break Ride because unless, let me see, is the G3 named? Oh yeah, okay, it's good. We can, as long as the G3 is a Blue Storm, I was about to be like, whoa, that better be a Blue Storm Break Ride. I just had to read them one more time. So we have that 12K, which is nice. Blue Storm Soldier, Tempest Assault, 10K, moving on. Blue Storm Marine General Spyros. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, it was the first or second battle of that turn. Counterblast 1, stand this unit. This effect is bad and bad at the same time. It's not that great. I wouldn't really mess my G2 lineup for this. For a 1-2 on the Vanguards are already tricky enough. And you're not really going to be at second battle for this anyways, because I guess the column with Diamantes and Basils and all that is really not going to give this guy any justice at all. Maybe if he said the third battle, okay, maybe I could run it in, you know, this, that, maybe a title assault build. No, it's not happening. Definitely not. Definitely not. Mobile battleships, Cetus during your turn. If you have a grade 3 card in your hand, this unit gets 11k. Awesome. Back to Blue Storm, Karma Dragon, Maelstrom Reverse. Lock a rear to get the following ability until the end of the turn. When this unit attacks, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, get 5,000 power and a critical, and at the end of the battle, draw a card and retire one of your opponent's rear guards. So again, cross ride base. This unit now swings with a crit. This is no longer 1 damage. Basil and Diamante plays can go off smoothly. Just make sure if they have that intercept game, just know what you really want to get at the end of the day. Maybe you're clearing up his front row with his G3. If you're locking the back row of a different unit, say you lock the back row of another column that isn't the Basil and Diamante's column, but you can still swing at something, you'll be good to go from there. Yeah, but locking just one just to get a critical 5,000 power and you're going to be able to retire and draw a card, that's good because you're killing a PG at the end of the day with this and you're still making waves with Blue Storm Karma Dragon. I would say this guy's possibly the next big boss monster that you could be using on your decks, in your decks for Aquaforce. It's really strong. Now it's really strong. It's amazing. Definitely going to put in that work for sure. Now with Blue Storm Marine General Demetrius, oh, he's amazing. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's the 4th battle turn or more, draw 2 cards and retire. So again, break ride this, top of that, guess what? You retire 2, and you got to draw 2. So again, you're getting to your PGs a little bit faster, and you're really smacking your opponent with a lot of hate. And if you're at a kind of like a cross ride number base, if you can get it, it can work out. But I don't think we'll be at cross ride base for this because the break ride is just too good to pass out when it comes to Maelstrom Reverse, drawing you legit 3 cards. So get them intercepts out, protect yourself, and do what's right. GG's. Marinefall Dragon, when this unit attacks Vanguard, if it's the 5th battle of that turn or more, draw 2 cards. That's like never going to happen. Titan of Capture Arm during your turn. This unit gets plus 4,000 power. And then Blue Storm Marine General Leon Sandros. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. If it's the 1st or 2nd battle, it's kind of us to understand this unit. No to those 2 units for sure. I mean, you can definitely play some of the better old Aquaforce cards and still make a badass reverse Maelstrom deck and so on and so forth with that stuff. And with that being said, we are going to be talking about Mega Colony 2 because this is technically a full set 16 overview, so we're going to get this done. So let's go over all the new Mega Colony cards that have been announced as well. Machina Little B. Put this unit into your soul, stand one of your resting Machinas, and draw a card. That is amazing. And that Machina gets 3,000 power, so it guarantees you a hit on an intercept. That's 11k. So that's good. Hits those 12ks too if you have a 9k version, etc. And if this card happens to go to your drop zone, guess what? Say it was retired, something like that. You can Soul Blast it to put this unit back into your soul so you can call it. Machina Black Soldier. During your turn, if your Vanguard's a Machina, it's a 10k hitter. Machina Locust. When plays, if all of your units are if all your opponent's units are rested, you may discard a card from your hand and draw a card. Interesting filter, but debatable. I know Ali loves filters, so he might just run that. I mean, I probably would too. It seems nice. It depends on the situation, I guess. Draw turbo. We'll see. Gloom Flyman. When plays, paralyze one of your opponent's grade 0 rear guards. No one's running you. Machina Slater. When this unit boosts a Machina Vanguard, if all your opponent's units are rest, you get a Soul Charge 2. Alright, that's not too bad. Soul Charge 2. Little deck thinning, and hopefully you Soul Charge enough to where you'll be able to pull off some awesome combos, call more cards from your soul, etc. that can help you pull off more of your B plays and all that good stuff. Machining Caucasus. When the attack by a machine of this unit boost hits a Vanguard, free paralyze, no more CB1. All you have to do is hit the Vanguard and you paralyzed already a back row without wasting CB, so you can have now you have good CB management. Would I actually run Rotter Gang now due to the fact now I can just paralyze with these guys for free? Kinda. I wouldn't put this behind a Water Gang, but obviously I'm going to make sure my Machina is a Vanguard at the end of the day too. Machining Papilio. When in place, paralyze one of your opponent's rear guards. So again, a little place here. You get a paralyze. Sad there's no intercept bypass for this unit. Would have been pretty lit. Just to paralyze the front row, and then you get a, go over. I'm pretty sure with this, I mean, with the G2 lineup with Machinas, I think we're going to be running the Toxics that can bypass intercepting while you lock the front row, and your opponent has to replace that front row anyways with units that can attack, or they're going to still eat damage, so on and so forth. Machining Red Soldier. During your turn, if your Vanguard is a Machina, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. So call this with Honeybee. Honeybee puts this up to a 15 beat stick, which is nice. Machining Tarantula. When this unit attack hits, Counterblast 1 to paralyze one of your opponent's rear guards. So he's a Counterblast unit, but he actually doesn't have to hit the Vanguard. He just has to hit something to paralyze for a CV1. So again, not bad situational unit. I like. Unraveling Blade Rogue Cyclomatooth. When rode upon, paralyze all your opponent's units, including the Vanguard. Then your opponent must discard a card from their hand, and if they do not discard, they can't conduct a normal ride. So they have to lich. So again, this is like a more nicer Zambaku. So it's good. Your opponent has to pitch a card, so again, you're making them lose stuff. If they don't have a G3, then again, they can't attack with their Vanguard. Their Vanguard legit becomes a freaking strike-in. Hilarious. So the Cyclomatooth thing is really nice. And again, if you're fighting against a G4 unit, aka Novella, this is just fun to use, and your opponent definitely can't attack with his Vanguard. And if you have 2 intercepts, you're going to be pretty much good to go. It's beautiful. Machining Sparking Hercules. If all your opponent's units are rested, Counterblast 2 to paralyze one of your opponent's rear guards, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power and a critical. But this guy has a nice effect here. One turn, you Soul Blast 1 to rest all of your opponent's rear guards. And this unit gets plus 2,000 power until the end of the turn. Then you call a Machina from your soul at rest. Now, my only issue is with Machinas. With this effect in general, I do like the effect that this can ignore intercepts. I was hoping that a Machina would have an effect where it rests itself to lock something. That way, when you do this effect, like there was like a G1 or G2 that rested itself, that if you call B, you restand it, and then you can just have like a draw falter with that, and that'd be pretty dope. But so there wasn't any of those units. Kind of depressing. I wish there was something like that when the unit would call itself, like there's a unit able to rest itself, like be it a man can dream. But yeah, obviously calling a Machina at rest isn't too bad. I guess if you need like an intercept, I mean, the fact that this can bicep intercept is nice. I'm guessing it's just so you can call something to protect yourself to make a big play. Unless you're holding on, unless you never like lost your B yet. Yeah. And does B call himself out? Just really quick. Maybe that's good if B, yeah, put this unit. Okay, so B doesn't like go out. When rode upon, you move it to a rear. Okay, so B's going to be out. If your B's been out for a long time, you'll be able to do the play. So that's the whole point. You're supposed to have B out for a long time, so when you do this guy's effect, you're going to be able to restand it and draw a card. Hashtag plus. The only problem with this, there are no self-damagers, so this effect is going to be very terrible against those crit decks, so it's not going to help us. But if we can get through it, we can get through it and pull off the plays if we need it. Machining Warsickle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 2, paralyze your opponent's Vanguard, which is amazing, because we like paralyzing the Vanguard, turn them into strike-in, force your opponent to try to discard a card, and if they don't even have a G3, congratulations, they are now guaranteed -1 attack. So, that's nice. Then at the start of your opponent's ride phase, your opponent may discard a card from their hand. If they do not discard, they cannot normal ride. So they have to ride on top of it to even attack against it. They don't have their G3s, or their G3s are sacking, and they don't have G3s. Guess what? 2 attacks. If you have 2 intercepts, GG's. You ain't taking a hit. Warsickle's other effect is actually really good too. When placed, Counterblast 1, then call 2 Machinas. This is where you actually call B again, and Machina G2. And then B goes to the soul, then you +1 card, and you just keep trying to get your pluses going while doing these effects. The other thing about this Limit Break 4 effect is it just has to attack the Vanguard. It doesn't have to hit the Vanguard. Once he attacks the Vanguard is now paralyzed, so your opponent now needs to decide on discarding a card to write a G3, or he thinks he's going to live with just the PGs in his hand. So there's that. Then Undefeated Mutant Vectrozeus. Counter +2, get 2,000 power until the end of the turn. Paralyze one of your opponent's rear guards. And then you get to paralyze one of your opponent's rear guards. So you CV2, this becomes 10k, and then you paralyze an opponent's rear guard. But he also has another effect. When in place, retire all, including yours, grade 1 rear guard. So again, you possibly might be running this for the Jewel Knight matchup, because less reverse Ashley has to lock, the worse that Ashley can get her calls in. So that's good. Extra's not bad for a last-ditch effort secret tech. Destroy all the G1s, 11k Vanguard. He's going to need units to swing, so on and so forth there. So that pretty much covers all of set 16. I'm glad I can provide you some more insight on the set, what you could be looking for, what you're going to be playing, what you could possibly be playing, or what type of combos you could be using at the end of the day. This was a very long discussion when it comes to these cards, but that's what we do at this channel. We discuss, we adapt, and most importantly, we have a good laugh. So good to know that prisms are going to be very big brainy. It is not a simplified deck. You have to use your brain for a lot of the combos, and that is the shindig when it comes to playing with these mermaid idols and all their Gucci stuff. Dimensional Police I'm more looking forward to than anything in the world. So don't at me. And Venus Liquor is already looking pretty sexy as hell at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. And I'll see you all another time for set 17 drop possibly this Friday, which I think it's going to be this Friday. So we'll be going over that as well. Y'all have a good one. Peace out. We all Gucci.